I just want to get this off my chest, and I've been saying this for I've been like this has been on my mind for a while. Um, I don't like the roads today, and the reason I don't like the roads today. So let me shut the window. Um, the reason I don't like the roads today is because everyone is just so impatient and arrogant, right? And how I feel about it is sometimes I've had enough of driving. Like some days I just feel like I just want to go back to cycling, and I do. I want to go back to cycling because I'm sick of driving everywhere. Not only that, when traffic builds up for me, I get like sort of stressed out about it, and sometimes I curse and swear when I shouldn't be, because I'm LDS for starters. You know, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you slip up and you make mistakes about, whether it be swearing or whatever it may be. But I think what's made me realise is just calm yourself down. You know, it's not the end of the world. Stuff happens all the time. Sometimes you get stressed, but I just needed to get this off my chest today because I don't like the way the roads are right now. The roads are terrible in Britain, obviously, and like there's loads of potholes and not being fixed, which means the car's going to get damaged a lot. And also the rise of fuel has made me just really, the rising cost of fuel has just put me under a lot of stress because now I can't use my car so much, which is not a bother. I've got a bike. I'm not really bothered by that. I've got a bike to get me to transport from wherever it may be. But I just sometimes feel like I need to get stuff off my chest. And this is today. I just needed to get this off my chest. I'm so sick of the roads today. People are so arrogant and so nasty towards each other. I think it's not very nice. I just say that. Some drivers are impatient. Some of them don't indicate. That is a real issue. I know when I first learned to drive, I wasn't very good at driving. Okay, I'd admit there's been mistakes. I've went through a red light before. I'm not going to do that again, hopefully. I never want to do it again because that's that's not good doing that. Sometimes we make mistakes where, whether you hit someone by accident, mistakes are always going to happen. But the thing is, you don't stop driving after that mistake. And that is one thing I learned. That is the first thing I ever learned was don't stop driving just because you made one mistake. I know I avoided it, but I'm not going to do it again. That doesn't mean I can get away with it because I can't. I can't get away with it again because next time it happens, I'm most likely going to get caught on camera doing it. So if I was to go through a red light and there's this big camera right in front of me, in Foss Park, for example, imagine I go through that, flash, 3 points on my license, £100 fine. It's not the end of the world, but still, that's a costly mistake, especially for your insurance. But all people make mistakes on the road all the time. It happens. You get into an accident. If you did it on purpose, then well, you shouldn't have done that. But if it's not your fault, or you accidentally hit someone while you're trying to reverse, like parallel park, imagine you next to a car and you accidentally hit the wing mirror and you generally meant it as a mistake and not on purpose, then it happens. Just as long as you tell the person what you've done. Don't just drive off. Or if it's a hit and run, don't ever do a hit and run. Don't do that. But all I can say is do not put yourself down. I know there's times where I felt like rubbish that I went through a red light and I was just really depressed about it. But honestly, it did make me feel guilty, like very guilty, knowing that nothing happened. But eventually I got through it and I was okay at the end. Because it's not the end of the world if you went through one red light. If it's one mistake that you just made, then you shouldn't put yourself down. Just learn from it. And at the same time, when I went into the town centre, I was really like, I thought I went through a red light again, and my heart pounded. I was like, really nervous and really scared. I thought I went through another red light, but it turns out that at that time I didn't, because that red light was for the other traffic. So, you see what point? Because, like, you got in Leicester in the city centre, because you got you've got like the high cross car park, and there's traffic lights there, and there's a box junction in the middle, like after that, and then you got the traffic light that faces the other traffic that's coming towards this way. And I honestly went through a red light, and I thought I was going to get done because there's quite a few cameras in Leicester. Turns out I didn't. It turns out that traffic light was for the other one. So you see what I mean. Sometimes when we think we've done something wrong, we haven't. But if you accidentally run through a red light, then learn from your mistakes and don't do it again. But I'd just like to say this, don't put yourself down. You know, it happens, stuff happens, it happens to people. But like, you always overcome it. I think now that I've got this off my chest, I feel better. I feel a whole lot better now I've got this off my chest. And I just wanted to leave you with that. And I'd like to say subscribe and like. I hope you enjoyed this